Hi guys, welcome back to the Daily Dreamer. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out for a dream. Boy, did I have one last night. Okay, so I wake up and I come to, and I am standing in this yellow area. It's not a room, it's open, but it's all yellow. And there are entities, a lot of them, and they're each wearing a different colored robe. A color that I want to say was familiar with the rainbow colors, however, they were different shades. New shades that I have never seen before. Super excited about the fact that they were all standing in front of a table, very long table. And on this table, there were every different type of cookie that you could imagine. So I look over and I happen to see my participating self, and she's standing there. She's got a big smile on her face. There are other people in line there waiting their turn to get up to the table. Once they get up to the table, they were encouraged to go ahead and choose different cookies. They were recommended to take just about 3, but some chose to take more than their fair share. As my participating self approached, she watched as 2 or 3 people took more than their fair share. When they went to the side to sit down to eat, she noticed that when they took their bite, they were experiencing something that she was not familiar with. So as my participating self got up to the table, I then joined her. I told her to only just choose the 3. She agreed with me. We went and we looked at each one of them, and we chose specifically 3 cookies. We sat down. We did not eat them at that point. We waited and we watched the others as they ate theirs. Some of them had adverse reactions to their cookies. Some people got spun up into, a whole different realm of vibration, and others thoroughly enjoyed their cookies. So as she goes to take her first bite of her cookie, she has a sensation that I feel as well. The sensation was one of joy and bliss, a little bit of uncomfortableness, but more so joy. She was super excited because it meant that she felt she chose well. She gets to the second cookie. She starts feeling a little bit sick, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "I'm fine. I can handle it. It's not a big deal." She's just experiencing the feeling that the cookie is giving her. So what is in these cookies? I have no idea. The last one, though, she felt a little bit sick, and she wasn't sure if she really wanted to eat it. I said, "Well, you chose it." I look over, I see the entity smiling. And then I look at her and I said, "Well, they're smiling. It can't be that bad." And so she looks down at her cookie, the very last cookie. She decides she's going to go ahead and eat it. She goes to eat it, and then she looks at me and gives me this puzzled look. And I said, "What?" And at that point, then she just shakes her head and whisks back to consciousness. It was a crazy dream. There were lots of colors, lots of entities, lots of beings, a lot of commotion, but not unorganized commotion, just commotion. So there was a lot of things going on in this dream. So what a dream to have. That was like the first of like many that I had last night. So what does the dream mean? Well, I'll tell you. Let's go talk about it, shall we? So what on earth did that dream mean? Well, I'll tell you. What came up for me when I meditated was the fact that, we have to come to the realization that the world events, as frustrating as they appear, are assisting with the shifting in the human awareness and consciousness. Our expectations for the future, they are determining our path right now as individuals, as nations, and as an entire planet. We are all actually setting aside opportunities for ourselves to experience every part of what we wanted to experience in this physical plane. You have to take a moment and breathe deeply and allow yourself to be one with the anticipation that's going to come with that. You have to embrace that feeling. Change can be scary. It can be frightening, but it can also be very liberating for ourselves. But you have to embrace it. Once you get to that point where you are afraid to change and you're paralyzed because you're stuck with your complacency and your unknowing, and you allow those thoughts to overtake, well, then you might as well just throw in the towel. It is very easy as humans to drop into our past and project ourselves into the future. That is what we love to do. We love to live on the memories, and we love to say what we're going to do in the future. But only one of these, past, present, and future, only one of these is happening right now. So which one are you going to live in? Are you going to make a change now? Are you going to do it in the future? Right now, it is the time for us to evolve. It's going on with or without you, folks. There are some physical shifts that will happen as a result, and they are taking place to accommodate this change, both on a personal and on a worldly level, whether you are in tune with it or not. But it's already happening. With this change, sometimes we can embrace it and sometimes we can fight it. You know, there are those people that will fight to the very bitter end because they don't like change. Depends on where you are with yourself on a spiritual level as well as physical, because sometimes physically we can't change either. There is, of course, those who always will have a resistance to change. And many of us are feeling like sometimes our emotions can be out of control lately. A lot of this has to do with the many physical changes that we are going through our bodies, physical and emotional. Different reactions will begin to take place with electrical instruments as well. Computers, televisions, remote controls, there's other electronic devices. They may not function as they were expected to. So maybe a computer is not booting up for you. Television's not turning on. Other devices just simply stop working. There's a reason for it. I mean, all that stuff, if it starts acting erratically, there's a reason for it, folks. All of us have ambient energy that travels through us, much like microwaves and radio waves. It's part of the invisible light spectrum that is traveling through our bodies. And as we start finding, there is an accumulation of this energy. And when we start to send and receive these frequencies, like the radio ones, via our third eye, pineal gland, it's essential that we learn to master the deep connection of meditation so that we can compensate for all of this energy that is going through right now. We will become familiar with this energy and how it flows through us and our bodies once we learn to master that. And of course, sometimes if you're not sure, if you're starting to feel flu-like symptoms, that's what that energy is. Harmony is a very beautiful thing. And once we understand that the old energy vibration that we have been sitting in no longer exists, then we will learn to understand that in this new shift of energy, in this new change, harmony is what it's all about. It's a beautiful place to be in, folks. We are evolving at a very incredible rate. And this is a triggering or a re-anchoring, if you will, of the physical body. The body always has to anchor itself to earth. And our vibrational patterns, they are changing our energy drastically. Many of us have times when we feel these strong emotions come up. That's what that is. It's a re-anchoring for yourself. Other times you could just feel chaotic, but that is what it is. It's a change in your body, in your vibrational patterns, a re-anchoring, a triggering for your body to reset itself. So don't be afraid, just be aware. We are becoming new humans, and the path that we are taking to already get there has already been decided. So don't fear the change. It's going to be for the better. We have all requested these changes. Yes, we have. And as dramatic as they may seem, they are essential to the phase of the growth into our highly evolved physical and spiritual beings. Most people only embrace real change when the pain of the remaining the same drives them to it, or if fate leaves them no other choice. Fate will decide for you because you chose not to decide, because you chose to stay in the same place. You left it to fate, and fate made that decision for you. Don't fall in that trap. Change is the theme right now of this current shifting that is going on. And it seems a little impatient. And many of us are finding that recently certain things, habits, beliefs, that we used to have, they are changing automatically without even waiting for you to initiate that change. It's happening, folks. This, of course, can feel a bit unnerving, a bit scary at first, but when you sit with it and you really look at the changes that are happening for you, you quickly see how perfectly it's almost all fitting into place for you. There are those other changes that we have been meaning to initiate. You know, the ones that we say, well, I'm going to wait for the right time. Well, guess what? There's never a better time than right now. Right now is when you need to just kick out that dust of the things that you wanted to do, create a brand new beginning, whatever it may be for you. These energies and love that is currently swirling around Earth are literally destroying absolutely every obstacle in your way. They are opening portals for you and paths for you to create the future that you have always wanted. It's the universe inviting you to create what your heart desire is. The universe is whispering to you, I've got your back. So, friends, you are out of excuses for your changes. That is what it is. If you are hearing my words right now, it is because somewhere deep in your heart, you have felt this and you are looking for answers. Your soul has been patiently waiting for you to have that aha moment, that epiphany that finally overcomes the self-doubt and your procrastination. It's easy to become distracted by the current and escalating chaos that's all around us, but don't fall into that trap because that's what it's for. It's meant to keep you stuck and hopeless and not being able to dream. No one said it would be easy, though. You got to always maintain that high vibration. That's why those 5 minutes are important. You know, especially if chaos is encroaching in on your comfort zone like it loves to do daily. I mean, after all, they don't call them showstoppers for nothing. Humans, we just love to see things crash and burn. Go figure. So that tendency that we have, it cannot be allowed to disrupt your focus on your new future. So don't get caught up in that old cycle. Okay? It's like when you go to a concert and you're living in that moment, you're dancing, you're singing, you're just going nuts, and then suddenly you just stop and you take a moment and you take a look around and you see everybody else dancing. And you realize that in that very moment that you can actually appreciate that time for what it is, truly. You stop dancing. You give all your attention to that experience right there. You're standing still and you're paying attention. It's like you're the only one there in that concert and you are standing perfectly still. That is the exact kind of discipline that we have to have currently. Okay, it's what Buddha taught, to be still and know. Even in the midst of noise, clamor, confusion, and chaos, be still. You got to pay attention to those moments. Those moments that we think of something, those thoughts that we have, pay attention. If we think of something or have thoughts that instantly manifest with themselves within minutes, or maybe when time seems that it developed some rather unique qualities of its own where it either speeds up or slowed down. Have you felt that recently? Have you noticed the spreading epidemic of smiles lately? Let's hope so. Because if you are, then you are definitely paying attention. You are definitely appreciating the moment. Those are the kind of things that you want to give your focus and energy to. Not to the desperate antics of those things, places, people, institutions that always want to distract your mind and keep you thinking. Humanity is awakening from their spiritual slumber, folks. The powers that be, they know it too. And guess what they're doing? They're trying to hit that snooze button. And they're hoping that we just go right back to sleep. But we are not going to choose that. Because no siree, not for us. Because we don't want to be late for our graduation, do we? It is time to put away those childish things and accept all the responsibilities that accompany your spiritual maturity. Take responsibility, folks. Imagination right now is the ability to picture images. If we can see a picture or image in our mind, then we can work to materialize it, to create it, to manifest it into the material world. It's time. It's time for new cycles and patterns to begin. It is time for consciousness to evolve to a whole new level. There is no going back now. It is time to stop denying our own power and start building our new world. We need to trash the generations of behavioral programming from which we got the stupid, silly notion that we are somehow limited in some way by something or some authority or institution, because we are not limited. We are not limited by anything other than our own imagination. And anyone who tries to tell you different, well, they're just simply not using their imagination at all. We sleep in lives motivated between punishment and reward. Folks, it's time to wake up. We have had the key to the kingdom and our universe all along, and always someone is out there trying to convince us otherwise. There is an ascension going on right now. We are just beginning to notice the new energies that are coming through our auras, our chakras, and they feel wonderful, like nothing we've ever felt before. These are the physical and the psychological ripples of our own individual frequency vibration that is moving up higher in the scale, particularly to the fifth dimension. But for us right now, we just need to learn to go with the flow. Breathe it in deeply, because this is the new you. How do you want to go? Do you want fate to try to decide that for you? Or do you want to take charge? That's taking responsibility, folks. Try this. Say this out loud. I am. I'll wait. I am. How does that feel? You are actually only limited by the image that you hold onto yourself. So what are you? I am what? You're limited only by the image that you hold of yourself and the love that you are denying for yourself. I wonder what the Mayans would have said if they would have actually been able to see beyond their scope. Probably would have said 2019 was so amazing, even they didn't see it coming. 2020, sure to be even better. And if the Mayans saw what was happening in this year, I guarantee you they'd still be partying on. Folks, it's time to wake up. Time to take a moment to appreciate all that you have at your fingertips to make your life a better one. Start by taking that 5 minutes a day for yourself, and you will see a different change in yourself. Till next time, folks, be kind to each other. Many blessings to you, and thanks so much for joining me for the Daily Dreamer.